there, welcome to my channel. My name is Linda. Today we're going to be working on a DIY Thanksgiving centerpiece. We're going to focus on using product from Reneabouquets.com. So let's get started. For our base, we're going to start with this sign I picked up at our local DT and 3 of these canvas signs here. Now I've got the canvas signs already prepared. I've taken the canvas and staples out of them. And then on this other little speech bubble sign, I'm going to take off the point here and about 3 inches off one edge, and I just use my craft knife and ruler off camera to get that apart. So some of the product we'll be working with, some new releases from Reneabouquets. These are about 5 inches big. This is called the Pumpkin Patch, so I'll be using that. This one I won't be using, but I wanted to show you. This is called the Ornate Pumpkin. I will be using this piece, which is the acorn. You get 2 pieces to each one. And then I won't be using this one, but of course, again, wanted to show you, and this is the very beautiful maple leaf. I'm also going to be using this Happy Thanksgiving. It's the medium size, I believe. These are a set of 2. They come in, they are ornate leaf tag sets, and they come with each piece, the backing and the front piece, so you can stack them together. These are just a few in the set, but these are a set of 23 fall tuck-ins with all these different acorns and leaves and corn on the cobs and things like that. This is a printed beautiful board, and this is called the Fabulous Fall Pattern, just a few pieces again from the set. So now let's move on to putting our main box together here. So I'm just using wood glue and a sponge brush here to get the wood glue onto one side. And then I will just stack all 3 of these pieces together. And then you might notice some clamps sitting there on the left side. I'll go ahead and use those clamps to clamp it down for an hour or so while we, work on some other items here. This is going to be our box base. Now, here's my piece all cut out and ready. I'm just showing you a little bit. We'll come across it later. All my pieces that I'm be using, I just trace around them onto some cardstock or some pattern paper. Kind of trace front and back of all my pieces. Of course, like I said, I'll show you that. I'm going to cut them all out on off camera. And then I also take each of my pieces, you can see them below there on the table, and I take them to my sewing machine. I sew on them just like I'm sewing on fabric. I use like a size 10 or 11 needle, depending on the manufacturer. Just a straight stitch, tension on 4, and stitch length set on 4. I never have an issue, although my machine does like all polyester thread better because, it's just a El Cheapo sewing machine. So, and I got it just for, doing crafts like this. Here's what it looks like. All sewn. If you like that, part to it, you're welcome to, of course, add this to your projects. I just think it adds a nice farmhouse touch. Then I like to take the open end of my scissor blades and I scrape along all the edges of my paper here. This gives it kind of a rustic feel to it. You can see what that looks like. I'll bring up another piece not done here so you can see the difference, and you can decide if you want to do that to your pieces in your project. See whichever way you like. It's just subtle touches, but I can't not do it. I don't know. I started this years ago, and it just doesn't look right if I don't do these few simple things. So here's all my pieces ready to go. I've got a couple of coffee stir sticks here. You could, of course, use skewers if you want. And then I'm using a domino game piece here from our local DT, and I just cut it in half. It's ready to go. Here's my box. It's all glued together, and I cut a piece of cardboard to fit the bottom because I do want to close the bottom off. Now we're going to go into painting our pieces here. I'll be using this Waverly Antique Wax. I will water it down. I'll be using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Drop Cloth. Sorry for the kitty bum in the upper right corner. And then I'll be using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Terracotta to my pieces here. So we'll start with the Drop Cloth here. This, I'm just going to use it on these little coffee stir sticks. Or if you want to use skewers, like I said, you could do that. So this is the only thing I believe I'm using the Drop Cloth on. And then the terracotta I'll use on this wood piece here. I get a bag of these rectangle wood pieces at Hobby Lobby. And then our little oval piece down at the bottom. And then the Waverly Wax I'll use on the other pieces in the upper left corner there. I'm just kind of showing you a little bit of painting on everything here. Here's it mixed with water, and you can see I've got my cardboard piece done down there and my little half of a domino game piece, and I just Mix this Waverly wax with water, brush it on, and then I wipe off the excess. Gives it a nice stained look. Again, just showing you a little bit, like I said, and I'll finish the rest off camera. And then I want to go in and just sand a little bit. As you can see, y'all, I'm getting a little bit more work with my right wrist here. Just starting to do a little bit more things. So that's exciting. So now I'm taking some, I've got brown cardstock here I've cut to fit my cardboard piece here that's going to go on the bottom of our container to close that off. One side is fully filled up, and this other one I cut just to fit the center because, you know, you're not going to see the edges because that's going to be glued to the box. So here I am. I'm just using Beacon Fabri-Tac glue today for my project and just gluing right around that one center piece there. Glue it to the bottom, and then our container is all nice and finished off with a bottom. Here's kind of what it looks like inside, all ready to go. So this oval piece here, we're going to start gluing. I've got orange cardstock to it. We're going to make this oval piece into like a half of a pumpkin. So we're gluing the back. I cover the back completely. And then the front of my pieces, when I traced around it, I cut it about 1/4 inch short all the way around so that you can kind of see a little bit of the wood perimeter showing. And then I add a secondary piece of cute paper here, printed paper. You know, got all this from Hobby Lobby. I love to kind of double layer my papers just to give it a little more texture. And we're going to add some paper to our little domino game piece here, front and back. This is going to be our little pumpkin stem. The front, you can see a little bit of edging around it. The back is completely covered. Once that's done, we're just going to glue one side kind of at a slant on our pumpkin, and we're going to set that aside to dry. We'll go to work on gluing the paper to the other pieces. I thought this would just make a cute, cute centerpiece for Thanksgiving. Adding our orange, I love this color orange, kind of a burnt, kind of brownish orange, to our rectangle wood piece here. Now, if you didn't have wood piece, you could use like foam board would work perfect here. It's just going to be a little sign that would work perfectly. Just something lightweight, rectangular. Will house our Reneabouquets Happy Thanksgiving words. Now we're going to come in with our larger Reneabouquets pieces here. Our pumpkin patch and our acorn. And what I've done is I traced the back piece of these pieces and cut that out, and now I'm just gluing the paper onto all the back pieces of these stackable pieces, if that's understandable. Because all I want is the paper to kind of shine through the decor of the front piece that goes on these. I didn't really want to do anything to these, but just add a little bit of decorative paper. Nice and easy. And now we're gluing the front piece onto each one. And you'll just kind of see that decorative paper through all the laser cuts of these pieces. I love these large pieces from Reneabouquets. Again, they're about 5 1/4 inches tallish, about 5 inches wide. Nice large pieces. Perfect for, you know, cute decorative pieces like we're doing here today, this project, a cute little centerpiece. Gluing our pumpkin on top. I love seeing kind of that script paper. Again, all of this paper from Hobby Lobby. Gonna glue our little leaf on top here. Love it. Kind of bringing in some brown tones. Here comes our Happy Thanksgiving word. We're just gluing that right onto our little sign here. Set that aside. And we're going to go ahead and get our pumpkin glued onto our container here. I'm just going to kind of put it where I want it and then mark here with the pencil so I know where to, you know, keep the glue inside so we don't see the glue. I want it all nice and finished off. Y'all know how I am with this. I tried to cut out of a lot of the gluing as I could. And then, of course, stand that right up onto our box and let that just sit for a little bit. I'm going to put a couple of paint cans right on top. There they are, and push that aside. And we'll go to work on our larger pieces here. And I'm just going to go ahead and glue those little coffee stir sticks to it. Again, third time, you can use skewers. And we're going to make this, obviously it's a centerpiece. We're going to make it like a real pretty fall bouquet Thanksgiving centerpiece. Box is ready. We're going to start working on our pumpkin. You all know I got to decorate the pumpkin, so I'm using this printed fabulous fall pattern as part of, you know, the leaves coming up around the stem. Then I'm going to add in some sisal here. I'm just going to decorate like I normally do. We're going to add this really pretty, you know, ornate leaf tag here as one of our leaves. I thought that would lend to the bigness of that acorn and pumpkin going inside the bouquet using a really large leaf here. And I've got a really rusty leaf here off of just a pick. You guys know how I kind of cut my picks apart. So I'm gluing in the rusty leaf. And this is some burlap mesh tubing. Get it our local DT. And then I'm adding in, this is some paper covered wire I get at Fall Time Hobby Lobby. If you can't find that in the stores right now, you might want to go online looking for it. If you have a hard time finding it, it comes in a roll, let me know. I can, in the comments, I can provide a link for you. Coming in with a acorn here off of a pick. We're just going to tuck that in, kind of going with all our little acorns and stuff to bring that up into our bouquet. Here's one of the leaves from the fall tuck-in set from Reneabouquets. We're just going to tuck that little leaf in here. I want this pumpkin to look all nice and rustic. Bringing in just a little pit berries here, just to bring in a little bit of this color. And then I've got just a little bow here. We're going to go ahead and glue this on right up over that mesh tubing in the pit berries. Add a little bit more sisal in here to kind of cover up that knot and the pit berries and stuff, kind of make that look nice and clean. Add a twine bow here. A single twine bow, and then I've got some thinner twine here. I like to take 2 or 3 pieces of that and tie that into a bow together just because I don't have enough twine on here. And then this is just a little tag I printed off my computer, it says Grateful and Blessed, and I add a little mini clothespin to it, and we're just going to glue that right in the center of those twine bows. And then we're going to add in, these are called Beautiful Bits skeleton leaves from Reneabouquets. You get a bunch in a set, and I'm just going to tuck that in right behind that tag. I didn't show those at the beginning. I brought those in last minute. And then we're going to glue on our little Happy Thanksgiving right down at the lower right corner of our pumpkin. So this completes the front of our beautiful pumpkin container. I think it turned out so cute. I've already got all my styrofoam in there. So bringing in, this is just a large pumpkin, styrofoam pumpkin I had in my stash. Here comes the things from Reneabouquets. We're going to kind of pop the pumpkin on one side, the acorn on the other, and I'm just going to fill in around it. I just show you a little bit here and there because, believe it or not, bouquets are not my forte. I have a weakness. I've said it. So I kind of work with it a little bit, and I got my cousin actually helping me on, because she used to do floral arranging and stuff as a living, so I've got her kind of on video chat, and she's helping me put things in and around, so I'm just kind of showing you a little bit here and there. I'm adding in these beautiful orange and cream colored flowers from our local DT, and tucking those in and around. And then you can see the little mini pumpkins down below. I put skewers through those little foam pumpkins I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I'll tuck those in and around. Here I am. I've got this angled differently so my cousin can help me poke things in so it looks professional. Off camera, I take out that kind of weird looking flower on the left there. I pull that off, and I add in like a really pretty orange plaid bow. Kind of add that in around. Oh, I also add in some Excelsior down around the bottom off camera so that it would cover up all that foam and stuff. And I'm sorry I didn't tape that, but it was last minute thought, like, oh my gosh, I need to cover up the foam, you know, so I just use Excelsior. You could use moss or something like that to cover it up. Just kind of filling this in again with more of the flowers, more of the little mini pumpkins. And then once I do that, this project is complete. So I really hope you enjoyed how this project turned out today. As you can see, there is my green and orange plaid ribbon, a little bit of Excelsior coming out the side, kind of lends to that rustic farmhouse look. I think this would make a beautiful addition to any Thanksgiving table. You add some pumpkins and stuff around out to the sides, and just gorgeous. I will have the links down below in my description box to all the product I use from Reneabouquets, so make sure you check that out. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you liked this project. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, you're new to my channel, welcome. If you like what you saw here today, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on a single project from me. Before I go, I'm going to leave you with one final thought. Don't let fear be your steering wheel. We may have fears about our reputation, our troubles, the path up ahead. Are you listening to that voice of fear? Are you listening to the voice of doubt? What voice are you listening to? Listen to the voice of God. Listen to the voice of the strength of the Lord. Listen to his heart as he speaks to his chosen child. Listen to him in all that he has to offer you. Listen to his love for you. You can never go wrong with that. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.